Good evening. I think we're ready. Thank you. First off, thank you so much for participating in the raffle. I apologize for not getting that done sooner, but I really do appreciate everyone taking part in this, and it's such an incredible thing anyway to just have Valerie donate something so special, and plus the other four boards as well. I did not. I don't know if is this loud enough. How about now? Okay, is that better? Can you guys hear me in the back? All right. If my family can hear me, then we're in good shape. My name is Joe Willix. I'm on the board here at the California Surf Museum, and welcome to the first Women on Waves 2026 event of the year. And I just want to take a few moments to give you a background of what this is, what this means to us, and what we're hoping to do. So it was 2010, 2011. There was an event. First, there was a Women's Day in 1997 here at the museum, and then in 2010 through 2011, there was Women on Waves. It was an event. Uh, oh, an exhibit. Sorry, an exhibit. Yes, an exhibit. I apologize. Um, Featuring the amazing women who are part of surfing at the time. And that was put on by, spearheaded by Julie Cox, who couldn't be here today, but I did let her know that we were going to be doing this. But also, nothing happens here by one person alone. This is truly a team effort, but it's important to acknowledge some of the members of the team that have been a part of it for as long as this museum has been going on. For instance, the incredible Jane Schmaus sitting right here, standing here to my right. We're celebrating our 40th year of existence, and Jane has been a part of this for 40 years. And then on top of that, none of what happened today in this week with the new exhibit and all of this coming together without Tara Torburn, who's been here with the museum for 35 years. And beyond them, there's Louise Balma, who helps with the gala. There's Camille, who's at the front and manages the incredible gift shop, and all the incredible volunteers who put in the work and the energy and the effort to make sure that these events are a success, and that what it is we're trying to achieve here at the California Surf Museum is possible and keeps going. And what we really are looking forward to now is Women on Waves is not just an event tonight. This is a new initiative that we're starting, which is hopefully going to increase the opportunities for women in surfing, but not just about surfing. The idea is within our tribe, within our community, we have shapers, we have glassers, we have surfers, we have past, present, and future. We have the creative types who are artists, visual artists, musicians, writers, cinematographers, filmmakers, organizers, community organizers, whether it's nonprofit or involved with competition, working in the industry. There are all of these incredible women who have achieved things that are, number one, worth celebrating, but also to make them available in whatever way we can so the next history can happen. To make sure that women who have as someone just said, it was if there was a kind of a pyramid and a steep point. Thank you, Kirk, for that analogy. The women who had to burst through to make these things happen. It's like there are lots of women behind who could benefit from that knowledge, that experience, that wisdom, and to know that something is possible even when it seems like it's really, really, really hard. And the beautiful thing about being a surfer is at some point in our lives, someone has called us into a wave. Someone has said, "You got it, go." And even if I didn't think I went just because I was getting called in. And we have an opportunity with our resources and our experience and what we have available to us to call the next women in, and to make sure that they have opportunities to do what it is that they're dreaming of and go farther than we ever thought was possible. So we're really excited for this to be starting, and we want your help with this. This is not something, certainly we don't need this guy standing up in front of a room full of women saying, "Hey, this is what you need to do." At some point, let's get me out of the way. The reality is we want women to tell us what it is that is wanted, what it is that would be interesting, exciting. And as I understand it, I think I'm looking at the woman who said, "Hey, you know what I want to see? I want to see younger surfers. I don't necessarily want to see what I've been seeing." And so, thanks to Erin, we actually have Victoria and Valerie Duprat up here with my dear friend Abby Seaver, who I'm going to be handing this off to. She is my co-chair in this effort. She's as much a part of Women on Waves as I am. And so she is going to be having this conversation with these two incredible women to my left. So I'm going to shut up so we can actually get to the best part of the night. So thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm Abby Seaver, and I'm so excited that you all came out for this pretty epic event, and I'm glad you two are here. And before we start, I know that Valerie wanted to say a couple things, so yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna stand because I'm gonna get very emotional. There's no words to describe how proud and to be here tonight, and I would like to thank everyone for coming. I see a lot of friendly faces, and it means a lot to me. That's the surfing family. That's what I call when you surf the same break, and you get to know people better, and they're part of your family after that. So thank you, everybody, for coming. I really wanna. Oh, my voice is shaking. I really wanna, say how much I feel grateful for the opportunity. I want to thank Jane. She emailed me with that email like I couldn't believe I was receiving about Victoria exhibit, so thank you for that. And of course Joe, he worked a lot to put together the exhibit and the video. I don't know if we're gonna show it or not, but that's an edit that is fabulous, and Joe put so much work into that. Of course, Abby. So basically, the whole California Surfing Museum for the opportunity. I'm speechless about this. And because it's Mother's Day, I would like to also acknowledge all the mom in the room. That's part of the fun. We are going to tell story about family. I would like to thank my own family and my son. So he's not like, he doesn't have an exhibit today, but he's as important to me than her. So this is my son Valentin right there. Yeah. I love him equally, sorry. But, and then my husband Vincent is right there too. And for the longest time, I'm just like Vincent's wife for most of the people, but for tonight, I'm not Vincent's wife. I'm Valerie Duprat. So nice to meet you, and thank you for coming.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So I think let's just start talking stories. So let us know where you're from in France and how you got started with surfing and how you made it to the United States.
Wow. How long do I have? So it started in France. I met my husband again. I keep talking about him, but he was a very avid surfer, and I was not a surfer at all. And I was dating him, and like those stories where it's a nightmare for a non-surfer to date a surfer, that happened to me. And I basically, he discussed me from surfing. I'm like, I will never surf again. He was like leaving me in the shore break in Osgore, like 2 meters of short break in Osgore, and like, yeah, I tried to surf, and I was like, never again. But the story is that I was doing a PhD in France, and I needed to do a PhD, a postdoc, and then I applied in UC San Diego. because it was the only way I would convince my husband to come with me. It's like to give him the opportunity to surf every day, like beautiful waves. So the California appeal worked. He came with me. We were just dating, but then we got married here because he wanted the visa, but it worked out. It all worked out. Like we got kids, and we're still together. So I guess that was love at the end. And that's how we came to California. It was for my postdoc at UCSD. And that's pretty much the love story of being here. We couldn't go back to France. We really enjoyed being here. And that was our new home.
And you also, you didn't always shortboard.
Yeah, that's true. So the continuation of that story about me not wanting to surf, since I was here, I wouldn't surf either, but I met my tandem surfing partner. And since I was an ice skater, competitive ice skater, that was the opportunity for me to be on the ocean and surfing, but like 3 foot in the air and doing lifts. So that was a very weird approach of surfing, I have to say, very scary because I was seeing the wave like actually upside down, and like it was very scary because you actually could see the bottom very much when you're standing on somebody else's shoulder and you see all the rocks and the speed of it. So that was an interesting way to be introduced to surfing, but because of that experience, I had the opportunity to learn how to navigate the lineup, and I think that's a very important thing when you start surfing, is to understand the ocean and how it works. So it was like driving school. I was on the board with like a very good surfer, and he would put me in the condition, in the wave, on the waves that were good, and I learned how to surf that way. So when I like got on my own surfboard by myself, I was able to position myself properly. So that's how I learned how to surf.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think that's such a great story. So tell us a little bit about your start to shaping and maybe some people that have influenced you along the way.
Yeah, so shaping came, I think, as a need for creativity. You know, when you're in life, you're busy with work, with family, and sometimes you need an escape, something that is only, you do only for you. And I think I needed that. And I just had Vincent, so I found that board. That was the old board, McTavish, on the beach at Beacons, and it was left there forever. I watched it for 5 days before I took it back home, because I didn't want to steal a board from somebody, but
We've seen those. We've all seen those like abandoned boards. It's so sad.
There was a leash attached, and so I don't know where the person was. I hope it was not dead, or I don't know. Well, there was no missing person, so I took the board and I painted it, and that's how it started, because I enjoyed the process of putting color on the board. And then Vincent said, "Oh, you should try to shape a surfboard for yourself. That'd be fun." And so he went to Mitch's and bought a blank and put it under the Christmas tree that year. It was like 15 years ago. And he's like, "Here, have fun." But he didn't realize that actually I would be hooked, just like surfing. And it's true, like shaping is like surfing. You guys all understand that feeling. Once you get hooked, you cannot stop. And that's exactly the same for shaping. So that's how it started. Thanks to Vincent again.
Amazing. Well, who's influenced you along the way as a shaper? Has there been anybody in particular, or anybody that you've met?
So at the time when I started, 15 years ago, I mean, it was a very male-dominated industry. A lot of the skills were passed from generation to generation, and it was not very open to new people, especially an expat like me, French girl coming from France. So the only way I could do it, and I was not shy at all. I was like, I was not aware, so I was very naive. I didn't know there was secret or anything. So I just went to buy a DVD It says Shaping 101. I don't know if you guys know that DVD. I must have watched that DVD probably 100 times, over and over, and just step by step. It shows you step by step. I encourage you guys to buy it. Honestly, it's still good.
And
It tells you how to shape a surfboard from A to Z, and that's what, with the blank I had, that's what I did in my backyard with basically no tool. I think the only electric power tool I had was the planner that we borrowed. But basically, like in my backyard, full light, I tried to shape that surfboard, and I had so much fun. It took me 6 months. The board was horrendous. And it was for my son Valentine. And I'm like, I'm sorry, son, that is horrible. We still have it, board number 1. Yeah. And but this basically learning by myself was the key. But once the social media and people got to see my work, I think it opened up more doors. So not all the doors, but I think people were open to have more female shaper starting to appear. And I think since I was at the very beginning of that wave of shaper, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of great masters. I worked with Matt Kinoshita, who is Kazuma Surfboard. I don't know if you guys follow. If you're in the shaping, you probably know that Instagram. He's a great guy. He's giving all his secret. That was the first one who's like, who cares about secret? So he was giving all his secret, and I got the chance to train with him for 5 days on Maui, in his factory. I learned so much in these 5 days. I learned also that I had to wake up at 3 a.m. because that's when he starts shaping. And I was texting him like, I need my Starbucks. Like it opens at 5. There's no way I can shape with you at 3 a.m. So I would just show up after the Starbucks open, because I was also like in a Airbnb with a very nice host. I didn't want to disturb them. But it was an amazing experience that he gave me. Of course, I've been the opportunity to also shape with Eric Arakawa. That's something also. And Axel Lawrence, he was a shaper for Pukas. He's from France. So I got to be exposed to a master shaper. But I think what I try to do is to have my own style. So like learning from them and then make a mixing of their influence, but I wanted to have my own too.
Beautiful. Oh, that's incredible. Now, I know that you had a really great experience at the boardroom show, and that it meant so much to you. You shared with me a little bit about it anyway, and I think other people might find that it's really interesting, and, I think maybe you could tell us a little about that, yeah?
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the boardroom show. It's that Scott Bass is putting together that big event in Del Mar every year, where there's a competition with a lot of famous shapers. And since I was shaping, I was going every year, of course, because I was like glued at the bay, looking at the shaper and learning from them. But then one day I got a phone call from Scott saying, you're in do you want to have a spot and compete in the Icon of Foam? And I thought I would faint. I'm like, Scott, this is not possible. I cannot say no to that opportunity. Who would say no to that? It was terrifying. Like the phone call was 6 months before the show. And if you're not familiar too, you have 90 minutes, 90, to shape a board from a famous guy, and that master was Pat Rawson. Thank you, Pat Rawson. Sorry, and you have to shape that board that you don't see before. You don't know what board you're gonna shape. You have 5 minutes with the board in your hand, and that's all you have. And then you have to shape it in 90 minutes in front of an audience that are all very, very expert because they're all shapers and all passionate about shaping. I think that was the most thrilling experience I've ever had in shaping because I wanted to show people that I can actually do it. Like, and I am a shaper. Because I have a lot of, not a lot, but some people saying that I was just a fake and that everything that I was posting on Instagram, that was Vincent shaping the surfboard and I was just posing, basically, with the surfboard. And I've got that quite a few times. So for me, being there in person, showing everybody that I was actually shaping the board was a big achievement, and I couldn't be happier. Like I said, I had nightmare before that show for like 6 months in a row. I was like even practicing in my shaping room to get a board done in 90 minutes. But then when I got there, I actually got there 15 minutes before the show, and they were crazy. They thought that I wouldn't show up. They're like, "Oh, we thought you wouldn't show up," because they know that it's a very intense event, and so the people, even the master shapers, are scared. So I get in the room, the shaping bay, put my headphones, and shape that board, and I was in the zone. After that, once I was in the shaping bay and I knew what I was doing, then it went perfectly, and I was so happy. I finished the board. I was against Timmy Patterson, so that was a little hard competition, I have to say, but he's an amazing human being, and yeah, he congratulated me, and it was a wonderful event.
Incredible. What an incredible accomplishment. Yeah. Your lovely daughter.
Hi,
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Victoria.
Here's Victoria.
Yes.
So tell us about your start to surfing.
Yes, but before I say that, I just want to thank everyone here, Joe, Abby, Jane, just everyone at the California Surf Museum again, for the exhibit and everything else. It's so awesome, and I'm super grateful, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how did I get into surfing?
Yeah, how'd you get into surfing, girl?
So before I started surfing, I kind of had everyone surfing around me. My mom, my dad, my brother a little bit. And obviously my mom was the shaper, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you gonna start surfing?" And I was like, "No." And so I was a gymnast before, and then we ended up going on a family trip to Nicaragua, and yeah, there I was just boogie boarding on the inside. I was a boogie boarder, and there was this girl, a local girl, who walked in between me and my friend, flipping her hair like this, and kind of being a little bit pretentious, might I say. And so I looked at her like, she is not about to walk past me and not have consequences. And so I begged my dad to go grab a board, and I ended up getting pushed in the white water. I think it was at Colorado's maybe. And I stood up, and I just thought I was so cool just to stand up on a surfboard. And I'm like, I made it my life's goal to get as good as she was, because she was really ripping, and I just really wanted just to get at her level and hopefully beat her in a heat one day. For some reason, that was my first thought. And I was like, I'm gonna beat you. And then I did. I'm not gonna name drop. Recently. But yeah, that was how I got started. I automatically turned to competition for some reason. That's when my competitiveness really shined through. I begged my parents to start competing literally the day of. I was like, "Please let me start." And my mom and my dad were like, "No, you have to have 6 months or at least 100 sessions before you can actually do a surf contest." So 6 months later, I was like, now is the time. And yeah, they put me in, and then it was at Ocean Beach, I believe. It was the WSA, and I ended up getting second. And so I was, yes, on the cupcake board, which is at the exhibit over there. It was my first board. And I was super happy, and that's kind of when it all started. I got second, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be a fun one. Yeah,
Sweet.
That's it.
Sounds like you were born to compete. Wow. So, since you've been surfing and traveling, do you have any favorite surf spots?
I I do have favorite surf spots. I think we do travel a lot, and obviously I was born and raised at Beacons, and so that.
Okay, I should say you don't have to give up any secret spots.
Okay, I won't. I think my favorite wave is Pismo Beach. There's a Key West there, and everyone says it's the worst wave ever, but for some reason, it's my favorite. I don't know why. It's the slowest and just crappiest wave ever, but I for some reason, like, during each contest, I just love surfing there. I don't know why. I just have insane, I don't know, chemistry with that wave. And
They
then
say love is blind.
yeah. But also not recently, but a couple years back we went to Tahiti, which was awesome. Loved surfing Chopu, which was nice. It wasn't super big, but it was still fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Heavy.
It was heavy, and I was wearing a helmet because gotta wear the helmet.
Nice.
But yeah, those are, I think, some of my favorite spots. Obviously, I surf Seaside and D Street locally in Encinitas like every day, so those are good too. But
Nice. What's your competition schedule looking like these days?
it's very busy. Yeah, my competition schedule these days is just, I'm doing a lot of WSLQS events, so qualifying series. And they just added a bunch of comps to their tour, so we're going to be traveling out a bunch, hopefully. And yeah, we're going to places like Barbados, Puerto Rico, all on the East Coast, so I'm super grateful to have that opportunity. And yeah, it's just it's busy, a lot of traveling. So that's kind of what my competition schedule is looking like.
Yeah. And you competed this morning, right?
Yeah, I competed at the San Diego Am Slam. It's a super fun event. It was at T Street, and they're a super awesome brand that sets up that whole event. So yeah, that was awesome. I'm also doing Prime Series, which is USA Surfing's Prime Series, which is, I'm pretty sure they're sponsored by the city of Oceanside. So yeah, this is the official training ground.
Nice. And you know, a lot of us know that a lot of competitors and professional athletes have like a pair of lucky socks or maybe a lucky hat. Do you want to tell us about Pusheen?
Yeah, so I have a lucky cat. It's not a real cat. It's like a stuffed animal. It's about this big.
She's over there too. And
Yes,
yeah,
I have
she's
two.
here.
I have two.
Yeah, she's here.
But it's like this big, and I bring her. Her name's Pusheen. I bring her to every single comp, even if whether it's on the East Coast or out of the country. I like stuff her in my bag on the airplane, because she's my lucky charm. Ever since I started competing, I think I brought her to my surf comps, and so it's kind of just the lucky charm that I've had, and I keep bringing it to every single one. She was there when I won my national title at Lowers, and my mom brought her down to the beach. And
That's why you won.
so, it's because of her. Yeah, but that's my lucky charm, and I just bring her
Have
everywhere.
you ever forgot her?
Yes, I forgot her on the way to Florida to Jacksonville for a QS, and so that's why the one in the exhibit is actually not the real Pusheen, but
Not the
we had
OG.
not the OG. We had to get a backup in the airport because I was panicking. I almost started crying.
Yeah, Pusheen's important.
She is.
She's
She is.
important. Sweet.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, tell us a little bit about who influences you and maybe who some of your favorite surfers are.
A lot of people influence me. I feel like obviously my mom. She's one of my biggest influences and aspirations. I want to be just like her. And my dad, obviously, he was the one who taught me everything I know now. So he has been my coach for a while. And then I do have coaches who influence my surfing a lot, like John Daniels, who's here in Oceanside. He's an amazing coach, and he's definitely influenced my level of surfing now. And then some of my favorite surfers, I would say, is Stephanie Gilmore, obviously, because she's the queen. And I feel like I can just kind of relate to her because she's tall, and I don't know, there's not that many tall women surfers, and so I feel like I always look up to her, and her style of surfing is just amazing. So I love watching her and trying to surf like her. I've also been super influenced by surfers like Luana Silva and Coco Ho, and all of them.
Sweet. And I know in the exhibit there's a photograph in the very middle of you on the beach with somebody. And you're looking at your footage. Can you tell us about that moment?
That's actually John, who coaches here in Oceanside. I think that was in Morro Bay, and he does a really good job of just analyzing everything in the heats, and so I think I probably lost in that heat because we looked really serious. But yeah, he goes over footage, and I'm super grateful to have him. Like, he's such a good supporter, and also, yeah, he's just amazing. And so I coach with him, and that's why he's up there.
Nice, nice. Tell us about any favorite YouTubes or anything else that like inspires you. Do you watch any YouTube, or do you watch any surfers? Do you follow any surfers really closely?
I mean, obviously, like Katie Simmers, I watch her a ton. I love watching her surf films, and like kind of, yeah, I don't really watch too much YouTube actually, but I do follow surfers on Instagram, and yeah, I'm super like kind of toning in on what they're doing so I can change my surfing to look like theirs.
Nice. What's your favorite thing about being a competition surfer?
I think my favorite thing about being a competition surfer is just being able to like express myself through competition. I don't know. I never really get the opportunity to be like that, like not like aggressive, but kind of like that elsewhere. And so I feel like being able to travel the world and just surf with all my friends, but against them as well, is just, I'm super grateful, also spoiled for that. And I think that's my favorite part about being a competitor, is just being like kind of feisty and just being able to like, obviously love to win, but it's doesn't come all the time. You lose more than you win.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, how many surfboards has your mom shaped for you? Do you know? Mom knows.
47.
Wow. And maybe tell
Dramatic.
us about the process of shaping. Yeah, how that goes for you two.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a cycle. Basically, it starts out by I need a new board, or I outgrew the last one because obviously I'm still growing. And yeah, so my dad actually knows all my dimensions. I don't even know any of my dimensions. He knows every single one to the T. And so he's usually the one that tells like my mom like the dimensions, but I know what it feels like, and I know if I need it bigger or smaller and stuff. And so we obviously meet up together at our house and we go over what I liked or what I disliked about the old board and what I want to change. And then my mom hops in the shaping room, and she shapes the board. And then after she does that, she asks me to come in, and I go and I feel the rails and the tail and the rocker and all that stuff, and I feel it with my hands. I don't use any measurements. I just feel it out to see if it feels like my regular board and if I like it, and it usually is awesome. I also mark the board to see like where like foam needs to be removed. And then after that, she paints it. And then after it's glassed by Global Glassing, which they're amazing. They always get my boards out. Yeah, in Oceanside. Yeah, they're super cool. And then after that, I ride it, and then usually I give her feedback about what I like and don't like. Usually it's pretty positive, but some boards don't work out, and I feel like sometimes there comes some arguments, but but yeah, I'm also very spoiled for this opportunity, so.
But I think that's good. I think the honesty that I get from my family is different from my customer. I think my customers are not gonna tell me your board sucks. I really don't like it. But they're honest, and also she has the level, and Vincent to know why it's not working. So I think it's important for me. I don't have their level, so I cannot try the board myself. So I make sure I compensate that by listening. I listen to their feedback, and that's how I'm trying to improve for the next one.
Beautiful. And is there anything special that you do for Victoria's boards that you don't do for anybody else's boards?
Well, for a while, I had custom US blanks that were lighter, because I think for her performance shortboard, what we wanted is something super light. And you can see the pressure ding. It's also lightly glassed. I think it's really good for her. It fits her, the performance, like she wants really like to turn, obviously the maneuverability of the surfboard. If it's too heavy, it's not going to go well. So I think the density of the foam was a custom made for her. It's lighter. Um, but yeah, I think other than that, yeah, of course she gets also the custom artwork that I don't do for everybody. But other than that, yeah, just love. Yeah, like that's a special recipe for her board.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Very nice. Is there any advice that you would give to shapers? Anybody that's maybe thinking about shaping or just starting out that you wish you had known?
Yes. Although it was fun to learn by myself, but now there's resources. Of course, there's resources online that is like not the DVD. It's all like you cannot read a DVD anymore. But I was teaching at the craft center, UCSD craft center for 4 years, and I have a few of the instructor right there in the front row. So if you guys ever wanted to shape your first board, they're very good instructor, and it's so fun. So you go there like how many? Five session of 3 hours, five. Four session. You have to be faster, and then it's 3 hour session, one-on-one instruction in a state-of-the-art shaping bay at the craft center, which is also a beautiful building. So I encourage everybody to do that, because once you have that first time with an instructor with you, I have also students that are right there that took the class. Once you have that first experience with an instructor, then you can either have your own shaping bay at home like me, or you can rent the bay at the craft center for a very small fee. And we have students returning, and they shaped so many boards, and they're having fun, and you will see you'll be hooked just like us.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. I'm not teaching anymore because it was too much. 4 years, that's the maximum I could do. I was like very tired, but all the instructors at the craft center are awesome. So I encourage everybody to take the class.
Sweet. And Victoria, is there any advice that you would give to up and coming competitors, young girls that are maybe thinking about competing? I mean, it sounds like you, from the first time you set foot on a surfboard, knew. But for any young girls, maybe.
I would just say, like, stay disciplined and have fun. It's always good to have structure, I feel like. It works for me, and I feel like it could work for a lot of people. And always have fun, because sometimes it gets overwhelming with parents. Like, surf parents are a lot. Dad. Well,
Get it real.
but just have fun, or else it's not worth it without having fun. And so, yeah, just stay disciplined, I would say, as well. You have to have discipline in order to make it. So that's what I would say.
Okay, so this is a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about base coat?
I was like, base coat. Base coat. I never use base coat. I don't think I've used it like recently once for like the first time ever, and it actually changed the game.
Really?
So I would say use base
Wow.
coat. But all my boards, like, you can't tell on these ones, but all my boards have the worst wax jobs you'll ever see. They're so dirty. They're disgusting, and everyone's like, ew.
You don't have like the beautiful.
No. And everyone's like, all that art, you can't even see it because all like the crap on top of it. So it's like, yeah. But now I use base coat, and it's a lot better. Do you use base coat?
No, I did
You should
at the beginning, but no, not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So we met each other. I probably should have shared this at the beginning, but we met each other at Beacons. I used to live right there, and we would see each other going up and down the trail all the time, and sometimes in the water. So we go back quite a ways, and it is just so amazing to see you two up here, and to have this exhibit, and that it's all come together so beautifully. And yeah, what a pleasure it is to know both of you. I think before we get to the question and answer part, where you guys get to ask some questions, maybe you guys could tell us about these boards. So, do you want to start?
I can tell about these three, and then my mom will take this one. So this one, I think I wrote it for a while, and it's just one of my all-around favorite boards. So yeah, the art is obviously amazing, and that was my signature like line graphic design thing for a while. And so I had obviously They're like the same, one's blue, one's purple.
And this traction pad looks like it's gone.
And it comes with sand, so if you get it, it's well loved. It's very loved, and it comes with the sand and the wax all over it, all the must. The second one, obviously, I wrote it a lot as well. There's so many pressuredings, but this one has the stickers, and the sticker's sideways, as you can tell in this one, because I buckled it and we tried to cover it with a sticker. So it's clearly not the best job ever, but it's okay. Where was it? Dinking. Was it Dinking? Dinking actually fixed it, and they did a really good job on fixing the buckle, so it rides perfectly as it did before, but just the color, so we use the sticker to cover it. And then this one used to be my grovel board for smaller waves, so it's a little bit wider, and it has a swallowtail, so my mom painted it to look like a shark, and hopefully it would like scare away the real sharks, and it could like think, yeah. So yeah, this is that one, and then this one.
Yeah. So that's a surfboard that I shipped for myself, but I found I'm a customer for myself, and I didn't like it, so I'm like, no, I'm returning it. So this board has too much volume for me. The special story about it that the stripes that you see are not painted. You guys know that all the foam is getting yellow when you put it in the sun. Every surfboard, when you put them too long in the sun, it gets yellow. So I took that very feature at my advantage, and I painted those stripes with the sun. It means like I blocked all the white part with tape, and I left the board for different days. Like the darkest color is 5 days, and then the lightest color of brown is 3 days, and that's how it's painted. So it's, to me, very poetic, and I hope the person who gets it at the raffle will enjoy that because it's painted with the sunlight.
Incredible. Okay, so now's the time. Oh, yeah, now's the time for Q&A. Perfect.
So we have Local Break Magazine is watching our streaming online.
Whoa.
So you guys can all watch this again later if you want. He has a question for Victoria. How do you maintain a balance between competition and just the organic fun of surfing?
In my opinion, competition is fun. I don't know. I feel like they're synonymous for me because competing is surfing for me. Like, I love, obviously, surfing with my family and everything, but competing is my favorite part about surfing. And yes, it definitely can get intense sometimes, especially when you lose first round and you're 8 years old. But I think maintaining just the balance is just to love both of them. I think not everyone loves competition, and that's valid because it's super hard. But I think going out and surfing with the family at Beacons every weekend keeps me grounded. So, yeah.
Well, and you did mention that you get to surf with your friends a lot, so that probably makes it fun too.
Yes, definitely. Surfing with all my friends. And
Sweet. Okay. Any questions from here, from the room? Anybody have any questions? Yeah.
How long does it take to shape a board?
How long?
90 minutes. I've done it.
With all eyes on you.
So 90 minutes is really when I'm at the ballroom show. Otherwise, it also depends on the size of the board. Long board, obviously, took a little bit longer, but for her board, probably a couple of hours. Yeah.
Better than 6 months or whatever.
I know. I'm getting better. Thank you for noticing.
There's a question over here.
Yeah, I have a question regarding how long were you shaping before you felt that it was ready, that you were ready as a shaper to be feel like you were kind of a professional, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Go
No,
from amateur to professional?
I exactly know what you mean, and even today, I'm not considering myself like a pro shaper. It's still a hobby for me. I have a full-time job, so I'm just shaping weekends, and I think that's part of my success is to take it as a non-professional activity. To me, it's art. I use, like I said, it's a meditation almost for me when I go in the shaping bay. So it's just creation. And I feel like when I shape, I learn about me because I'm I'm thinking about 1,000 thoughts when I'm shaping. So I'm learning about me, but I feel like I'm a learner, like perpetual learner. I know I will never get to any of those master shaper because they've been shaping. Maybe they did like I don't know, like 10,000 hand shape, and so I'm very far. I'm just like at 550 something, but all hand shape. But my goal is not to be professional. Why? Like I'm just happy doing that like as a hobby, and that's all I want to do.
So in a way, you're saying like just like your daughter, you're keeping it fun and doing what you love, right?
I guess so.
Right?
I guess so, because I don't do it for the money, so I guess it is for fun. Yeah, and it's my pleasure also. It's such a pleasure to see. I ship mostly for people that I surf with, so seeing the boards being ridden and people having fun on them, it's such an incredible feeling. And also surfing my own board, that's crazy. So take the shaping class and surf your own board. It's magic. Oh,
I see a question here.
I have one question for you.
yeah.
What are the different designs on your board that you make?
The artwork or the shape?
Both.
Both. How long do you have again? Because that's a long time. So do you shape? Do you surf yourself? Do you have a surfboard?
I share it with my family.
What kind of surfboard do you?
I have
A longboard. So that's there's different kind of shape, and being in the museum actually it's humbling because all those beautiful boards that's part of history. So you can see they come in very different shape, and they're just like human. We all have different body type, and surfboards are the same. They're all unique in that sense, and they have they play different role. All those different outline will have a different behavior in the water. So what I'm trying to do is to sit down with my customers asking a surfboard, and I'm asking that person a million questions to know what the person wants and what her or he needs. And that's part of the process, the part of the process that the most important for me. It's to understand what the person wants. And so I'm trying to match their ideal surfboard. So it can comes in different shape. I just want to make sure I have the perfect match between the surfboard you're riding and what you want. Because we want to have fun on the surfboard. So you have fun on a longboard. Where do you surf?
I serve in different places. My favorite place is North Ponto.
Oh, very
Good spot.
very good spot. Awesome.
And you had another question?
Yeah. What do you like about competitions, and what was your first prize?
I just in competition. I think I love just going surfing. It's like just going surfing with your friends, except you get a prize, like you said.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, it is. And my first prize was a trophy. It was probably like this big, and it was an orange WSA trophy, and it had 2 tiers, and it was like half my size, and I was super happy to get one. And yeah, I think just competition is just like surfing with your friends. Just you get to express yourself in a way that you wouldn't outside of the water. Sorry. And also, when you start at a young age, you get to do it with your dad as well, so or your mom. They could push you in. And so when I first started, I did it with my dad, and he was pushing me into the waves. And so that's what I loved about competing as well, was doing it with my dad. Yeah.
Because dad
Yeah, he does, and still,
Still.
still he's grinding. Oh, no, he's still going at it. So, yeah, he loves competing as well. And so,
Sponsored by Hydro Flask.
oh yeah, that story was interesting.
You can tell the story.
Yeah, this is probably one of my most embarrassing moments.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, this goes along with the like intense surfer parents on the beach. I don't know how old I was. I might have been 10 or 9 or, oh, okay. He remembers this day.
Exact.
I was 12 and I think I was probably losing. I don't know. Either way, yeah, I was definitely losing. And I look in and I just see him go. He always does that, throws his arms up, but this specific time, he had a water bottle. It might have been a Yeti, it might have been a Hydro Flask, and he just threw it on the ground and just like, and it just made a huge sound, and all the parents were like, and I just, everyone still remembers it, and these two were there, and they make fun of him all the time for just, he's just known for it. He's known universally in the surfing world for throwing the water bottle once when like,
It's better than a board.
yeah, it's better than a board getting destroyed. But he's known for throwing water bottles now. But he's gotten a lot better at being a little more chill now that I gotten older.
I've got a maybe more serious question. So I had the privilege of being in Tahiti with you and the family, right? Yeah. 2 different trips.
Mhm.
The second trip, you said it was small, but Teopu was pumping, right? Both broken boards, leashes. And I remember being in the boat, it's too big for me, watching you. And I want to maybe get the reactions of both mom and daughter, Victoria, you in the lineup, right, charging on some pretty heavy waves, what that felt like. And then, Valerie, we're sitting in the boat, in the channel, watching, like, what was going through your mind is our
Can I
two
go
young
Oh,
kids,
you wanna go
probably
first?
14, were sending it.
Thank you for bringing that nightmare memory. That day, we knew we were planning to go to Teopu. So we were staying on Morea. We took the ferry just to go to Teopu, and we knew we were going, but we were watching the forecast, and it was like 6 to 8, and then it was growing 8 to 10. Like, are we really doing that? Because it's a little girl, and it's Teopu, and but we had engagement with the boat person, and also your son wanted to go, so we had to go. But then as we take the boat to go to Teopu, you hear the sound. That's something that you cannot understand if you're not in the boat, like next to the wave. That wave is eating, like it's a monster, and it makes a sound. And I see it's crowded because it's really good. Actually, it was actually 8 to 10, and if you've seen it, it's terrifying. I was terrified to be on the boat. I was telling our boat driver, "Are you sure it's not gonna shift? Are you sure?" Because we were very close to the wave, and it's like, yeah, driving the boat. Oh my God. I was ready to jump out if there was a shifting set. But they still decided to go, and I was so proud. I was very terrified. But those two, they had like the session of their life. So I'll let you.
Yeah, so leading up to that day, I just remember like watching the forecast grow. I don't know about 8 to 10, maybe 6 to 8, I don't know. But he says it was 8 to 10, but I just remember I felt like this like weird thing in my stomach, like I'd never felt before, like have like this experience. It was like almost like, I guess it was just nerves. I didn't even feel that type of nerves in competition. I just knew that it was going to be big, so I was really, really nervous. And then when we got on the boat and saw the waves from the dock, I was like, oh my God. And then, sorry, I keep doing that. When we ended up going out there, I was like, am I really gonna have to go out right now? Like, obviously I was scared, but I was excited to like try and surf it for the second time. And I remember, and I was questioning if I was gonna go out. And then I saw Dane like getting ready. He's like, let's go. I'm like, okay. So then we all or me, Dane, and my dad paddled out, and I just remember my dad stopping, like in the inside, and I'm like, "Are you not gonna paddle out further with us?" And he's like, "No." And so I see Dane, so he was like further in, and I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Nope, I'm not going further." So then I see Dane paddle further out, and I'm like, "So I have to go out too." So then we went out like almost out fully to the peak. And it was tough to catch waves because the locals are pretty heavy there. But I ended up catching a couple, and so did Dane, and so we were super happy just to get the experience. It's like nothing you could ever imagine. It's so heavy, and you pop up and you see the reef just like looking at you, and it's like really shallow. But I luckily had my helmet because it's really important to wear a helmet, in my opinion, because there's nothing going against you at that point. Like, you can send it harder, and even if you don't have a helmet, there's so many risks. Even if you do have a helmet, it's just better to be safe than sorry. So I felt pretty good. I didn't even feel like, once I started catching waves, I felt like pretty confident, and I know my mom was nervous, so it made me nervous too. But it was amazing.
Beautiful. Well, that's all the time that we have for Q&A, so I'm going to hand this back over to Joe. Thank you guys so much for being here.
And can we have another round of applause for... So part of this is also opening up the Making Waves exhibit, which will be up for the rest of the year. Yeah, so, and this is highlighting this incredible duo of Valerie and Victoria. And we also have a video that has not been seen outside of just really a few people here, the women up in front, and family. And so we're excited to show that to you guys also in just a moment. And then Jane will be making a presentation to open up the exhibit officially.
Tú no te dejes de eso.
made that edit, so I want to say that's such a good edit. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. And it is my pleasure to introduce our historian, one of the founders of this museum, and actually the woman who made it impossible for me to say no in volunteering, Ms. Jane Schmaus.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Speaking of volunteering, that guy is amazing. He knows every square inch of every surf film ever made, and he knows how to put together a beautiful video like the one you just saw. So we're just delighted to have his hand in this museum. We always need hands in the museum. Just to let you know, those of you who have not been here before, welcome tonight. Please look around. Please soak up the Making Waves exhibit. That's what tonight is about. These incredible, this is a family. We didn't just get a wonderful young up-and-coming surfer, which is the purpose of Making Waves. It's a way to honor the future of surfing. Yes, we're a museum. Yes, we have old boards here. We tell old stories. Many times our audience is all wrinkled and gray and, you know, but full of the passion and joy for surfing that they've kept with them their entire lives. And so now we have row by row by row of you who are carrying that same passion in your hearts. And it's exemplified here. We're not just honoring a wonderful young talent, up and coming. We get a whole family out of it. And that's just really what this museum strives for, is to bring surfers together. We are a family. We are a tribe. We have the same sense that the ocean needs us to go in for that stoke whenever we can. The wave calls you, right? And you get your turn. So it is Victoria's turn tonight to be our star in the Making Waves exhibit. We have with us tonight one of the previous stars of the Making Waves exhibit. Reed, can you stand up? Are you still back there, Reed? There she is. All right. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome. And we just have to combine that new, fresh energy and innovation and talent and skill with the past. And that's what we do here. And I think we do a good job of that. 75% of our visitors don't surf, and they're just enchanted with what they see here in the museum. And the Making Waves exhibit is a big part of that. Young girls, young boys can put themselves in those shoes and can picture themselves doing those same incredible maneuvers. Takes a little bit of effort and practice, but of course. Okay, so they were telling the story of Victoria, and we're going, wait a minute. How many surfers ride the boards that their moms make? And then we went, oh, not many. Not many. And we're so lucky they're in our community right here. And they're such wonderful give back people. So we thought, well, we'll bring Valerie into the equation here, because both of these extraordinary women are making waves in their own way. And the museum is about featuring a lot of firsts also, and a lot of side stories that most people don't know a whole lot about. So we're here to honor these two. Without further ado, I would like to present Victoria Duprat with our famous Making Waves trophy. Okay. This is handmade. Handmade by a woman artist who specialized in Aboriginal painting with a dot painting, and we just love it, and it's crazy, and it's kooky, and it's just perfect for making waves. So, congratulations, and yeah, thank you to Victoria. Okay. And Valerie, also, we would like to present you and your family with a family membership to the museum. So please, for Mother's Day, for all that you do, all the sacrifices that you've made, raising such beautiful children and examples. And let's see, that might wrap it up. Oh, we have a raffle. Yeah. Come to think of it, yes. Can we get the little, yeah, and Victoria and Valerie, maybe we can count on your fingers to dig deep into our little basket. Oh, yeah, the raffle thing. Thank you so much for supporting the museum. Oh, yeah.
So first off, Valerie, if you don't mind, could you let us know the parameters of the custom board, because I forgot to get that printed out also. So for with the custom shape, yes.
I think it's up to 7 feet long surfboard with matte finish and 2-color spray.
Yes, those are the parameters. So, but will they get to spend as much time with you answering questions as you described to our young surfer there? So this is truly a custom board. So you get a bespoke surfboard from Valerie Duprat and Mermaid Surfboards.
I can say it will take at least 3 or 4 months. Okay. Just to go back.
So not 90 minutes. Okay, so I'll tell you, Victoria, why don't you?
Is that for the custom?
We're going to do the custom board first.
Okay.
Yes. You want to read it out?
Okay. 4, 9, 5, 5, 6, 9, 2. Oh, is it just the last 3 that are the same? Oh.
We have a winner. She will not need a 7-foot board. And she's the one who said to have her. Okay, great.
So just a little side story, like Jane mentioned, when we were trying to figure out what was going to be the first Women on Waves event we were going to do, and so Abby was canvassing women and saying, what would you like to see? And it was Erin, the winner, who said, I don't want to see old people. I want to see young people. Do something with kids. So that started a conversation which was already happening with Making Waves, and we said this is the perfect opportunity. So in some ways, it's almost poetic that this happens. So, but now we have. You're going to work with Valerie on that, but we're going to send these other 4 boards home with people tonight. So why don't you go ahead and pick another? Yes. I'll set that aside. So.
For the first right there, it's 4, 9, 5, 5, 3, 7, 4. Huh?
Go get the board.
Wait, who's it?
Over there. All right. Is that? Yeah. One picture.
got another. We got two. There we go.
The next, the blue one, this number is 495-5545. A lot of fives. Laurent.
It's going back to the family.
Merci.
Laurent. Two more.
So the shark one?
The shark. So next one is the shark one. So it keeps them away. It's 495-5312.
Nobody.
312.
There, now you can pose. Oh, nice. Very, very, very nice. And let's have a round of applause for Mermaid Surfboards. We would not. One more? Oh, one more. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're giving everything away.
You're
No, we're
giving
not.
everything.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Not everything. Just one more board. Yeah.
Okay, I got the last one. For this one is, I think just the last three numbers are, okay, all of them. Okay. 495-5838. So 838 are the last digits. Darren. No one? 838? Okay, good job. Okay. Here. This is so awesome. Here, you're gonna stand in front of it.
Want to stand next to it?
Congrats. Congrats.
Once again, on behalf of the California Surf Museum, our staff, our volunteers, everyone who helps make this museum tick, thank you. Thank you for attending tonight. We encourage you to stay connected with us. We will try to stay connected with you. And if you have comments, suggestions, needs, desires, wants, you let us know. You can let us know at probably the coolest email I will ever have access to in my life, WOW, which is Women on Waves, wow@surfmuseum.org. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Mother's Day.
Lucadia. And
Thank you. Val, thank you so much for coming down.
Great event.
Thank you.
Such a good event.
Thank you. That was
Like, getting the young energy, people are excited.